How can one access the Akashic field through the Daoist Dantian system? If you don't know already, Akasha is a term that is in the Vedic and Hindu culture in India. However, in Chinese, it is referred to as Wu Ji, which is also known as the void, or in the Western term is the ether, or the etheric field. In the Western, and as well as the Ayurvedic perspective, accessing the Akasha is cultivated by balancing the four elements, the fire, air, water, earth. Then you access that through the solar plex. However, in the Chinese Taoist system, there's actually another gateway towards accessing Akasha, and that's through the transpersonal orb. So how one will cultivate that is first by accessing and feeling and cultivating energy through the lower dantian. This energy in Chinese, we call it Jing, okay, it's connected to sexual essence, and in Western terms, we also call it the vital life force, your vitality, your life force, this type of terminology. When one cultivates the Jing, it's a feeling of almost like an elasticity. It feels like you're stretching out an elastic band and you're compressing it, and your whole body becomes almost like this dense rubber balloon. And you feel like the electric magnetism and the energy, it's very electrical. So the key with the Taoist cultivation is you want to be able to cultivate this in order to pull energy and to accumulate enough of that fuel that becomes the rocket ship to your ascension. So that vital force, the Jing, then can be cultivated into Qi. Qi as in Qigong. So this is the energy that is stored in the heart center. And in Western terminology, we call this the your astral field, right? Your astral essence. When you cultivate this, you bring that electric magnetism and that tensile, elastic quality of the Jing into the Qi, and it feels like you're floating in a cloud, and the sense of time dissolves. It feels like you have all the time in the world to do what you need to do. And there's this great level of mindfulness and the sensitivity in this. Okay? It's a feeling of your emotion, your heart being open, and just, you can almost like feel your emotion relaxing out of you like rivers and clouds and just like a thick, viscous honey-like substance. So in the astral field, it's the slowing of time, this disillusionment, and it feels like you're in this hydraulic state. So the pressurization is equalized, and it feels like you're moving through honey. Now, as you cultivate this energy and you clean this channel up, you can then bring that energy up into the mental field. And what it'll feel like is that the vital energy, the Jing, shoots up to the Qi through the Sushumna line, and then you can bring that up into the mental field, and you'll feel this energy going all the way up, and then the moment it hits the pineal gland, you'll feel this like quality of equalizing, and it goes almost like it goes this horizontal into infinity. And through that process is the opening up of the mental field. And in the past, where your thoughts may be stuck just in your body, you release the concept of space altogether, and your mental field begins to expand outwards into taking up the room, into taking up all of your surroundings. And then this is this concept of consciousness expansion that's really being experienced as opposed to thought theorized. And you'll begin to feel almost as if you are one with your surroundings, you're one with nature, you're one with earth, if you were to expand all the way out to the earth itself. And this is the key to mental training, right, of remote vision, remote viewing, as well as having a lot of this mental wandering and different skills of bringing your mind to different places. You can be a traveler without actually moving your body anywhere. So as you continue to cultivate the mental field and you clear out your thoughts, expanding your consciousness, then you can bring the energy back into the pineal gland, focusing it back into the Sushumna line region, expanding out the crown, your crown chakra. So with this mental training, it just becomes very intuitive how to do this, but you bring your mind into this area here, right? So just naturally when you touch it, your mind is already focused in that area. You bring it there, and then you just expand the crown out so that there's that space, and then you shoot up your consciousness, you shoot up all of that energy that you've cultivated from the rocket field or Jing all the way up into the transpersonal orb. And then it sits like almost a hand length away, and it's this dark violet orb, and it's the access points, the Akashic gate. So as you access this dark violet orb, it feels like your thoughts and your consciousness is just dissolving, and it's being pulled into this infinite quality, right? And you're forever, it's like you're pulling layers and layers of your consciousness, and you're diving deeper and deeper into this infinite void of your unconscious and build up. So as you go into the Akasha, there's two ways of going deeper in Akasha. So the first way is to continue penetrating, right, with this like laser-like focus that goes deeper and deeper into this infinite void. Another way of doing it is to take that spacelessness, that timelessness, that disillusion feeling, and to continue to expand that and let that feather out into your atmosphere, into the surroundings, and continue going wider and wider and dissolving more and more outwards towards it. So the moment you bring your consciousness, shoot it up the Sushumna line, opening up the crown into the Akasha, you already have that GPS signal. So you get the signal of what the Akasha is. So then to go deeper, you can either apply the focus method as well as the feathering out and the expansive method. So I hope that gives you an idea of how the Taoist cultivates. And I say Taoist because most people didn't recognize the Dantians through Taoism, but really it proliferates through so many different cultures, especially in the West and the Kabbalistic traditions as well, okay? So there's the three Dantians. That's not just for Chinese culture, although that's most people think of it as that through Qigong and Chinese medicine and all this. But if you dive deeply into the mystery schools and the esoteric cultures and the past practices of the West, is very much points towards the same ideology. So that's that about how to access Akasha through the transpersonal chakra above the crown, through the Jing-Qi-Shen, the three Dantian system. So if you have any questions, drop us a comment below and follow us for more insight into the amalgamation of Eastern and Western ancestral wisdom into wisdom tree, as well as what we have honed in our own spiritual mystical cultivation. We'll see you shortly. Take care now.